Hello and welcome to another tutorial by Happy Cloud Solutions. Today we'll be looking at how to customize an Astrowind or Astro website. Basically, today we'll be working from the ground up. I know that these days people would prefer to use an already available template to create their website, especially for those who are not web developers or have in-depth programming experience. So today we are going to be looking at various aspects on this. For example, we're going to be cloning or forking a repo from Astrowind. So to be able to create the Astro website, there's a template that is provided by Astrowind, which we're going to start by cloning it, and then we will do some changes to customize the environment to suit our personal needs. You know, the areas that we're going to look at are how to change the footer and the logo. So normally when you download this template, it's going to have, an Astrowind logo, an Astrowind template. We're also going to look at how to, add background images, add a button, changing navigation bars, adjusting image sizes, changing the social media icon, and then customizing the website title and description. So let's get started. I hope you're excited like I am today. Let's get to it. All right. So we are now on the Astrowind GitHub page. So to locate this page, basically type github.com/onwidget/Astrowind. So basically, this is the template that we are going to use to create our website. And as you can see here, the various languages and types of scripts that were used are JavaScript, TypeScript, Tailwind CSS, Astro, and also some Astro themes were used. So now let's get right into it. To start, I'm going to fork this repository. All right. So you can either fork it or clone it, whatever one you want, you can do that. So I'm going to call this repository name tutorial website. So now we're going to have in mind that everything we're doing, we're creating a website called tutorial website. So create the fork, and then it basically takes you to your own GitHub repository. So if you're watching this video and you do not have a GitHub environment, it is simple. All you have to do is to go on your Google and just gonna do google.com and just type GitHub sign up, and then just follow the prompt to join GitHub. All right. So let's go back to GitHub. So right now we have this cloned to my own page, that's Happy Cloud. So now the next thing that I want to do is open this whole script in my local environment. And I'm going to open with GitHub Desktop because that's what I use. So I'll just click on open with GitHub Desktop, open GitHub Desktop. So it's easier for me to do it this way. I mean, if you don't have GitHub Desktop, you can basically just clone this repo. All right. So what it does is GitHub Desktop manages the commits, the pushes for you, and even the cloning. So instead of you going to your terminal and typing git clone, whatever the name of the URL is, you can just open with GitHub Desktop. And as you can see here, it is cloning the tutorial website. So we're just going to wait for it to be done cloning. And when it is done cloning, the next thing we'll do is to open it with Visual Studio Code. All right. So we have that cloned, and we want to make sure. Okay, so now let's go back here. It's on the tutorial website. So you click here, open Visual Studio Code. I'll open this up, and then it's going to open up on here. Right, it's on my other screen. And still loading on here. All right, we have it. So now this is the website. These are all the files that I used to create the website. Okay. And I mean, if you do not understand all these all the files that are here, do not fret. we will go through everything together on how to modify and customize your website. So right now, I'm just going to click a file, but that doesn't really matter. The next thing when you're on VS Code, it's important you use VS Code, especially for people who are not really good at writing script, because VS Code has a lot of extensions that will help you. Anyway, so I'm just going to click terminal and go into this terminal. So new terminal, and then I'm going to let that load. It's taking its time. So basically, when that loads, what we're going to do is to run npm install, and then we'll run npm run dev. So npm install, what it's doing is basically installing all the modules that you require to, you know, run this website locally, right? So first we do npm install. It's going to take some time because it's going to install all the modules that are required. So I mean, following this process is going to help you through publishing your website. Okay. All right. So we're just going to wait for it to be done installing, and then we'll come right back. All right. So we have 358, no, like 911 packages, and you audited 912 packages in 6 minutes. All right. So now we've installed all the modules. The next thing we'll do is run npm run dev and click enter. So what this does is to run this website locally on our laptop. So for starters, also for people who do not have programming knowledge, it's important that you install what is called Node on your laptop. So when you want to run a command like npm, you it's important that you have Node being installed on your laptop, Node.js. So this enables you to run commands like npm run and npm install. Right. So we're waiting for the website to load. It takes time to load because it's trying to populate all the components, all the pages, and so on and so forth. So right now you can see here, this is the location that you're meant to go to access this on your browser. So we're just going to go back here to our browser and go to that page. All right, and we are back. So as you can see, this is running on my local host port 4321. So this is the exact website from Astrowind, but now it is running locally on my environment. So now, based on the steps and the procedures that we listed that we're going to follow, I'm going to start by customizing this this logo here that says Astrowind. I'm going to change that to tutorial website. And then we also have down here, let's keep on scrolling, you see Astrowind. Then you see this logo here. And then you see all these things here. I'm going to customize it. So it's going to have your own images, right? So let's do that. All right. So now we're going to start by changing this Astrowind here to HCS tutorial website. Or I'll just call it tutorial website. So I'll go back to VS Code, and then I'll go to logo.astro. All right, and that can be found. You go to CRC, okay, then you click on components, and then click on logo.astro. So as you can see here, it's hard coded to include the site name. If you do not understand, coding, you can easily just change this to tutorial website. Okay. And then because I don't want this logo, I'll just remove that and Control S. So what it does is it automatically loads the page. So now I'm going to go back to the website, and voila, this has changed from Astrowind to tutorial website. Now the next thing I want to do is let's head down to the footer. I want to change this footer from Astrowind to tutorial website, and then I also want to change these stuffs here. So let's go back to this. So now to be able to do that, we have to go to navigation.js, and you can find that under SRC. So let me collapse this. If you click SRC, that source, you see navigation.js. All right, let's scroll down. Scroll, right. So now what we want to do here is to change what has been written. And I'll start by, let's remove this one, this URL. I'm going to give it the URL for Happy Cloud Solutions. So I'm just going to copy this. But first, I have to put an image. So what I'm going to do here is just delete this, and then I'm going to upload an image, and that image is what I want to use as my logo. Okay, so I'm going to upload the image to the assets and then images folder, because that's what I want to use as my logo. So let's say I want to use this hero.png as my logo. I will just ensure that I've put it in this folder. Then I'll come back to that other side. Okay. So first of all, get the logo that you want to use, put it in the images folder under assets, then come to this place here, URL, and open brackets. Let's hold on, open brackets slash assets, because that's the folder where it's sitting on, backward slash images, backward slash hero dot png. Okay, so now we've done that. What else do we want to change? We want to change this part that says made by on widget. It's not really necessary. If you want to remove it, you can. If you don't, you can also leave it that way. But you can just take this out here, take this out here, and just write um tutorial website. Okay. And so since we're here now, okay, let's just do this. I'll save this here. All right, so it's been saved. Let's go back to the website. Firstly, we've seen that the image that I chose has been put here, and I've changed this from all rights reserved tutorial websites from what was here before. I've changed the logo and I've changed the website. Before I adjust this, I'm going to adjust this part because we are currently on that page. So I'm just going to need this link because I'm going to use it as the GitHub link. Control C, and then I'll come here. So for this part, I'll just put my own GitHub link. For Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, if you're not on Instagram, you can remove all of this part. And then if you're only on LinkedIn, you can also change it and put LinkedIn. And then change this from Facebook to LinkedIn. And then Control S. Let's go back. All right. Refresh. So now you see that only LinkedIn, the XML file, and GitHub is showing here. So we've changed it. So the next thing we're going to do now is to change this from Astrowind to tutorial website. So now let's also change that. Okay. So we will go back to VS Code, and then we're going to locate footer.astro. So you can find that under SRC, then go to components. Then if you click on components, go to widgets, and then you see footer.astro. Okay. So there are other things that you could change here. But right now, what we're going to change is we're going to put our site's name here. We're going to hard code it and put tutorial website. Control S. And then let's go back. Voila. So now we have tutorial website, all of this here. If you do not have any of this forum and you just want this to be empty, or maybe you want to put your contact us page, you can still edit it from the footer.astro. So if I come back here, I can decide to edit every other thing that has been put here for, you know, the components that we just saw down there. That's the platform support company. But w- no need for this now because most websites that I know of would have all these things here. So you can just use this to showcase all your products, the various platforms you have, the support, and whatever you want to put about your company, you can put it here. Okay. So this also can serve as navigation aside from this top nav bar. So now we are going to do the nav bar. So remember, we've done the header, we've done the footer. The next thing is to do the nav bar. Okay, so to do that, we'll go back to navigation.js. So I'll just collapse this, go back to navigation.js. All right, so now you can see everything that is here. Let's start from the top. So now you see these homes. What Astro is saying is that when you click on homes, you can go to their various pages. Like you can click SaaS and it goes to the SaaS page. But most websites just want the home page to be home. That's the exact home. So most times this drop down menu is not required. So if you want to remove that, just go over here. Okay. So you see where this links is from here to here. I'm just going to comment it out and you see what I'm talking about. So I'll do Control S. I'll come back here and you see, voila, the homes has gone out. So there's no more drop down for homes. Okay. If you go to, for example, the blog list page and you want to go back to home, you can still click on home. So we're going to go back there and ensure that we can be able to click on homes from the blogs page, okay? Because right now, as you can see, it's not clickable. It's not clickable. So we have to make that clickable. So let's go back and do it. So basically, to make the home link clickable, you just put links. Or you don't need to put this because I'm not putting other links. You just need to put the href and then get link market. And because it's the home page, you can just put this slash sign. Okay. And because it's just one page, I can remove from this S and make it home instead of homes. So Control S, go back to the website and reload the page. All right, now we are in the blogs page, and if I click this, it will take me back to the home page. So now let's go and modify the rest. I'm going to modify one more of the nav bar, and you can do it as much as you want. So I'm going to look at something like the landing. So most times, some website might not have the need for this landing page. So maybe I can even call this products. Okay. So I will just go back here, and then I'll look for landing. So let's scroll down. This is landing, and I want to make this product. So this is product. And then what this is saying is that this lead generation can be found in landing slash lead hyphen generations. And to locate this site, what you can do is first of all, find the landing pages, and which is under pages, then landing. Click on it. You will see lead hyphen generation. See it here. So if for one reason, okay, you're selling maybe shoes, this part is just for men's shoes, and this part is for women's shoes. This is for kids shoes. Okay, and you don't need the rest of this one, so I'm just gonna take it out. What you're gonna do now is you start by renaming this landing to be called products. Okay, so I'm gonna rename this and I'll call it products. Okay, and then for lead hyphen generation, I'll rename this and I'll call it men shoes. Okay, what other one was there? Sales and click through. Sales is for women, click through is for kids. So I'll just rename this one to women shoes, click through, rename kids shoes. I'll go back to navigation.js and I'm going to change the directory from product lead generation to men shoes, women shoes, and then kids shoes, and then save. All right. So now let's go back. You just have to change this to products. Is a product with an S, so I'm just gonna put S. You have to be mindful of these things. If not, you can spend days troubleshooting. All right, product save. Let's go back to the site. And you can see this has changed from landing to product, and men's shoes, women's shoes, kids shoes. If I click on men's shoes, it takes me to the page. So now you see that there is nothing here. It doesn't show, you about enable you to go back to the previous page. You can decide to add your nav bar depending on the kind of website you're creating, or you can still go back to the home page by just clicking on tutorial website. But if you're in the men's shoes and you want to go to women's shoes, you can click on women's shoes here, and then it goes to it. You can click on kids shoes, and it goes to it. So I'm just going to click back here, tutorial website. So now what we've been able to do up to this point is to successfully change this here from Astrowind to tutorial website. We've successfully changed the home page navbar. We've made it clickable. We've removed the drop down. We've also changed this from landing to products and changed all the drop down links. If you scroll down, we've also changed the tutorial website here, and we've also changed the footer over here. Now, there's also something that is hiding somewhere that I'm going to show you. Now, let's get to it. If I go to blog list, and if I click on blogs, okay, and I scroll down, scroll, you see that apart from this footer here, there's still something here that talks about Twitter, Facebook, but you're not interested in all these things, okay? So you want to remove it either to put your own logo or to completely remove it. So, you know, if you want to find this in the Visual Studio Code, there are also, some key points to do that. You see here, it's written, if you go over it, you see Twitter share. So what you want to do is on your VS Code, just go to VS Code. You want to go to search logo here and then type Twitter share, just as it was spelled, Twitter share. So you can now see, oh wow, this is the area that I'm meant to update. So now, if you have a Twitter account, basically you just put your Twitter URL here. Okay. If you do not have a Twitter account, you can most likely just delete this. Okay. If you have a Facebook account, just put the URL here. If you have a LinkedIn account, put the URL here. Maybe instead of WhatsApp, you want to use GitHub. Okay. What you do is change this from WhatsApp share and just call it GitHub share and give this GitHub. Okay. And then you put your GitHub URL here. Okay. If we save this and go back to that page, we see that. Just refresh. So I see the GitHub logo has not reflected here. It's to show you the WhatsApp logo. So now let's go back to it and see what we missed. So where is the GitHub logo? All right, see the problem here. You're meant to change the icon. This is the icon, block. So you're meant to change this icon from WhatsApp to GitHub. And also, whatever icon you want to put, you also have to ensure that the Astrowind has this icon in their module. So there's a place over here where you can find the icons. So let's just get to it. So to find the icons that are available, just go to Astro at the top here and click on icon.d.ts. So anything that is here should be available for you to use. And because there is a GitHub here, that's why I could update the social share.astro to include GitHub. So if we go back to the page, we see that the GitHub has been updated here. So that's just one thing that I also needed to show you about the footer, because this can be hiding here trickishly. All right. So now we are done with doing the header, the footer, the nav bar. The next thing we're going to look at now is how to add background images. So now we want to change the background image. We really don't have any background image here, just background color. So first of all, I'm going to change this to a different color so you kind of get the point. And then I'm just going to also change the image so you also know how to do that. So with that said, we're going to go to that home page. You can find it under index.astro. So, okay, you see pages, click on it, look for index.astro. So this is basically the home page. So now I'm looking for somewhere where I could change, the color. If you go through this template, let's see from the start, all right? And I'm targeting here. Ensure your online presence truly represents you. I want to just make this part, all right, from here to here. I just want to make the color different or put a different image. So I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to search for ensure your online present. All right. So this is it here. This is the area. And you see, this area started from here to here. Like, this is all that part from here to here. And on that video, we'll probably talk about, what this all means, what it means by is after content. In some places, you see is reversed, but that will be in a different part, in a different video. So now, let's say I want to change the color of this and I want to make it yellow instead of blue. So I'll just say yellow, Control S, and then go back to the page. And as you can see, it's already change to yellow, right? Let's change to yellow. This is it there. Okay. So now we've seen that we can change the colors. This is blue, this is yellow. So now let's change, instead of using a color, let's use an image. Go back here. So from what we see here, we see that it's just they are making reference to an image over here. But what I want is, I want to, they're making reference to a color, sorry, over here. But what I want to do is to make reference to an image. And I'll go with this hero.png again because, it's in my directory already. So whatever image you want to use, just put it in your images folder. Then instead of yellow, I'm just going to click on that and let's do this. Square bracket, type URL, normal brackets, and then position sign. I'm going to look for, just go to the location where my image is sitting. And currently, this is the location that I am typing, and then hero.png. All right, we have everything that we need. So we have absolute, insert, this, that. I don't need this part. I can just take this out for now and Control F. So, so now you can see, obviously, this is not the best background image, but like whatever background image that you have and you want it to be over your, under your writing, that is how to put a background image. So remember, I showed you how to change the color from blue to yellow. So now I showed you how to, you know, put a background image for this part of it. So obviously, I'm sure when you're working with your background image, you have to ensure that the contrast goes with your writing. Either you change the color or you reduce the transparency of the picture. All right. So now we have successfully, change the background image. The next thing we're going to do is to add a button. And I'm just looking for the best place to add a button. Okay, I'm going to come and add a button here where we have the cross browser compatibility. I'm going to come add a button down here. So let's do that. So now we are going to add a button to this section. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how this part came about, okay? So I'll just go back to index.astro, which is the home page, and I'm going to locate where that get template is. So as you can see, look at this whole block from here to here. You can see that we have the get template, we have the URL to get the template, then we have this icon, which is a download icon, and that's what makes it possible for this download icon to show up here. So now we're going to change that to something else. We're going to call it about us. About us. And then the URL, I'll just leave the URL to be the same landing page. So I'll put that sign. And I don't want this download icon, so I'm just going to remove it. And then this learn more is pointing to a path called futures. It is basically pointing here. So if you want something to point to a location inside your page, you have to use um, the ID tag. So like you see here, ID equals to features. I want to call it here, so I put hash features. If I save this and then we go back to the website, you see that this has changed to about us. If I click it, it basically brings us back to the landing page. And if I click on learn more, it takes me to this features place over here. So now the next thing that I said and I want to do is to add a button. So let's stop talking about it and do it already. Okay, so here Where is that place? So we want to add a button. Let's see, where is it? Scroll, scroll, scroll. You know what? It's always easier for me to just go and find the wording and search. So cross browser compatibility. So let me do that. Control F, cross. All right, this is it here. So now I want to add a button. To add a button in Astro, you need to import the module into your page. Okay. So you scroll up here and just write another one, import button from from do the sign backslash components slash UI slash button dot astro and semicolon to close it. So now look at where this is coming from. If you go to components, click on UI, scroll, you see button dot astro. So this one here. So that is components UI button dot astro. So that's the first part. So now over to the next part is location. Let's go back to that location again. So here. So instead of making this a list item, I'm just going to copy all the way here and delete it. So what I want to do now is instead of it being a list item, I want it to be a paragraph and kind of like more easy to relate because then you're talking about your product, and when you're done talking about your product, you're like, to learn more, click this button, you know. So that's the idea I have here. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here. This is just some dummy word. So like right after, I'm just gonna show you something. If I remove this and then I just have like the button, I can put everything in one line. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So basically your button tag, put the variant, put the link, target blank underscore blank. This means it's going to open in another page. All right, I'm just going to remove this from here, not necessary, and save. So if I go back here, I have, you see what happened here? This is your button, but then it's now on the same line with your paragraph. So in order to resolve this issue, I will just put break. I probably want to have two breaks, so it just kind of like gives you more space. So come back here. Now, voila, you have a paragraph talking about something, and then you click my button, basically bring it back to this page because that's what I put. So now we've been able to modify this from get template to about us, understand what this learn more does, and then we've also changed it from a list of items to an actual paragraph and put a button, a clickable button here. So I hope, up to this point, you have been able to follow and you're developing your website to create something great. So now up to this point, we've been able to clone the get the Astrowind template repo. We've been able to change the footer, the logo, and the navigation bar. We've been able to add a background image and also, change the background color from blue to yellow. We've been able to add a button. So now the next thing that we're going to do is to adjust an image size. And that thing we also what we were able to do was to change social media icon. So that's this over here. And we also did the same thing in the blog post. So if I go to this blog, scroll down here, we're able to change the social media icon. So now we're just going to wrap it up with two more things, which is to adjust an image because sometimes you might not want your image to be this big. You might want to reduce it maybe to fit even the size of this to create room for more things. So after we adjust the image size, the next thing we'll do is to customize the website title. You see, right now it's saying Astrowind hyphen free template. This is not great when it comes to your your real website. You want this to be changed to what your brand name is. So let's get to that. Let's change the image and then do that one. All right, so we are going to change the size of this image that is showing here. If you go back, we see that this is where the image is being referenced. So right now I'll just show you how to, add more attributes to your image for width and height. Okay. So I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to say width is one, maybe 300. It has to be in a quotation. Of course it does. And then enter height, and I'll just say 1000 and comma save. So let's go back to the website and refresh. So now you see the image has been reshaped. Before it was longer, almost like over longer than this. So now you see that the image has been, reshaped. If I reshape it a bit more, let me reduce the height to say 900 and just save. Come back here is reduced almost so close to the button. So this is easy, easy peasy, almost the same thing as HTML. So just add the width and the height attributes to your image. Great. So, to end part one of this series, the last thing we'll be doing is to change the website title. Right now, you're seeing it saying Astrowind hyphen free template for creating websites with Astro. But in a more professional way, you want this to show your website name. For example, the name of this website is tutorial website. So to do that, just go to Visual Studio Code again, and then still on the index.astro, which is the home page, you will see this title mark here. So you can just delete all this and just write tutorial website. Okay, Control S, save your work, and then go back to the page. So let's scroll. Voila. You no longer see Astrowind here, but it's simply just saying tutorial website. So this is the end of the first part series for this. And we are going to continue on developing and customizing this Astro website on other series. But today we'll bring this to a close. To learn more about web designing or Astro, reach out to us, that is Happy Cloud Solutions, via the contact us form on our website, or send us an email at hcstutors at happycloudsolutions.com. Thank you for watching through to the end of this video, and hoping to see you in our next part series. See you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's keep this going. See ya.